Hello, LEC community. I'm Ivan with the LEC team, joined by Dr. Johnson from Ottawa University for our first live stream of All About You, where we will host different universities that will talk about the people there, the programs, and different possibilities that you can take part of, especially in the education realm. Dr. Johnson, how are you?
Doing great, thank you. Happy St. Patrick's Day, right?
Yeah, and I don't have any
Yeah.
green. I see that you have
Okay.
green.
I'm not there to give you a little pinch, so you're okay. You're safe. You're safe.
Well, thank you for being here with us. I'll hand over the mic and I'll be here next to you in case there's any questions that I can bring
Awesome.
up. But yeah, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much for this time. I know we just have a little bit of time together, but I am Dr. Johnson. I'm from Ottawa University, and I'm the department chair for the School of Education. So I oversee the graduate programs and the undergraduate programs. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about those today, but Yvonne, I love the title of this series, the people, the programs, the point that you've given. For us in Ottawa, the people is the most important part. So, at Ottawa, we help support individuals from all walks of life. We have folks who have been in the business world and decided their heart really is towards influencing the youth of our future and impacting their community in a way that is so powerful by being an educator. We have individuals who are young and just out of high school. We have everybody. So no matter what walk of life you are from, no matter what stage you are in, no matter where you are in your educational or professional journey, if you have a heart for people, we want to partner with you. And this can be your home. We do offer a lot of online learning, and I just want to make sure we're all on the same page about what that term means. I think sometimes people hear online and they think, oh, I'm going to be left all on my own to figure out these classes. I won't ever get to talk with my classmates. It'll be very isolating, and I need community. I agree with you. We all need community. And that's why I love our online education programs, because actually, we create a community for you in the online platforms. You're discussing with each other. You're meeting with the professor on Zoom and seeing them face to face. If you have a question about your finances, about anything else, you can see a person face to face, either in our Overland Park campus at Metcalf and 435, or in our Ottawa campus down in Ottawa, Kansas. So we have lots of folks to support you and help you. But I think the most important piece about Ottawa is that we know our students because we have smaller classes. I typically know if my students have young children, if they are living at home and supporting their family, if they're working 2 jobs. And when I know that information, then I can support them even more in their academic journey and in their endeavors so that things aren't left to where you feel like you're alone, because we don't ever want that. So the people part is really, really important to me. I do want to share a little bit about our pathways. One of the things that we like to say is Ottawa has options. So sometimes when you go to a university, they say, here's our program, fit in our box, do these steps, that's it. We're not that way. We're much more, where are you in life? What are you wanting to accomplish? And how can we help you get there? We have multiple pathways to help you do that. So one of the pieces too is that, of course, you have all online courses. That means you're working the night shift, you're working the day shift. Whenever you can make school work for you, it's available because it's available 24/7. There are networking opportunities with all of your peers. You're in school, possibly with people from all over the country, which makes you a better educator. And I think it embraces different ways of living and different perspectives from different schools and different communities. And the degree programs are made for working adults. I'm going to make sure I can toggle this thing here. Here we go. Yes, there we are. You have a student success team at Ottawa, an enrollment advisor who helps you apply, helps you understand FAFSA, all of those just kind of weird hoops you have to jump through. You have a financial advisor who's there to answer any questions you have. They're on a phone call away, an email away. You can come to their office. And you have an academic advisor, which works with you to make sure that your grad plan is going to happen. I've had students who had something happen in their family, and they say, hey, I got to take a break. I've got to go take care of my family. I need to go take care of my own health. We say, okay, how can we help? We want to pause for a minute. All right, when do you want to come back? So there's not any sort of absolute timeline or anything that you have to do in a certain order. I do want to let you know that if you have a bachelor's degree, we have opportunities for you to earn your master's and your teaching license in 1 year. I'll go over that in a minute. If you have an associate's degree, we have lots of different options for you. And that's one of those you probably need to talk to an enrollment advisor so we can look at your transcript. We really encourage our students to go to a community college first and then come to Ottawa, because that provides for you a 20% discount on your enrollment just by going to the community college first. We have a lot of 2+2 programs there. If you have a high school diploma, please go to the community college. We would highly encourage you to be a part of the registered teacher apprenticeship model. I'm going to talk about that in a minute, but you can start online classes right away. Yes, you can be paid while you're student teaching and completing your coursework. So just know that's a different conversation, but it's there. Going back to folks who have their bachelor's degree, and I'm going to go through this quickly because I'm going to be sending you lots of information to share out and post links to PDFs and things that people can navigate through. But if you already have your bachelor's degree, no matter what it was in, you can come to us to the Unified program and earn your teaching license in elementary education and special education in 12 to 16 months, depending on when you start and how many classes you take. You just have to have a bachelor's degree. That's all that matters. We prefer a 3.0 GPA coming out of your bachelor's, but we all know some of us were different people when we finished our bachelor's degree. So if you have lower than a 3.0, don't let that in any way become an obstacle. We can work with you, and we have options there as well. Just so you know, and just so you're aware of who Ottawa is overall in our master's programs, when you are looking for licensure, we have opportunity for you to become a school counselor. Elementary Education Unified is the one that gets you your teaching license and your master's degree. And then, of course, school leadership, if you're wanting to be an administrator. Kansas requires you to have completed 3 years of teaching in the classroom. Then you start the school leadership program, which is 2 years. In Kansas, you have to have 5 years experience in the classroom before you can be an administrator, which I think is pretty wise. I don't want a principal telling me what to do if they haven't been in the classroom, right? They don't know what's going on. If you're just looking for a master's degree, you want to move over on that pay scale. Curriculum and instruction is a 30-hour program. Learning technologies, if you're someone that really likes to look at online learning, look at gaming, look at all those pieces that are there. And then, of course, elementary education, just having more depth of knowledge in that area. But you already have your teaching license, so that's a non-licensure program. So if you want to learn more, here's the contact information. Rachel Scott is our amazing enrollment advisor. She's a great place to start when you're like, I'm not exactly sure which program I want, but mostly I want to know what are my options, and I want to share with someone what my dream and ultimate goal is. Rachel is the one you start with. Amy Matthews is our community development executive, and she works with schools. If you're already a part of a school and you're like, man, I want Ottawa to come and start a cohort with us. We have a lot of paras or substitute teachers that really want to get their degree. Talk to Amy because she can make those partnerships happen. Feel free to scan that QR code there, but also look for more information that'll be attached to the recording of this on YouTube to be able to make sure that you have all the information to make the right choice for you. So one more piece I want to share is not that. Am I still sharing my screen? No? Oh, okay. I was hoping to. I want to talk about the Registered Teacher Apprenticeship Program. So I had it up here and now it's gone, which is great. Talk amongst yourselves.
Register. I can look for it too. Register.
No, I've got it. It's here. All right. I'm going to share my screen because if you are in Missouri, you may have heard something like this. I think Missouri was trying to start it, but it's a little different. In Kansas, if you teach for a Kansas or are hired by a Kansas district, you have access to what is called the Kansas Registered Teacher Apprenticeship Model. The incredible part about this is that through monies through the Department of Commerce, your schooling is paid for. This link I'll give to you as well, but it's fantastic because you don't have to live in Kansas. You can live in Missouri, but you have to be hired by a district. So you can look here at district resources, and this will give you a list of participating districts. You go in and you say, hey, I have an associate's degree, or I have a high school diploma. You cannot have a bachelor's degree and do this. Let me be really clear. If you have a bachelor's degree, you got to move on to the master's program. If you don't have a bachelor's degree, head here and see if this is something you might be interested in. You'll notice that when you click on the application that's here, it walks you through step by step. And I know this is super small, but the idea is it gives you exactly what you need step by step. What I would like to encourage you to do is go to your district and ask them, I would like to be an apprentice. You are given a mentor that walks you through it. You are also given a guaranteed rate of pay. You have a starting wage that the district pays you. And then as you progress through the program, you go up to different steps. Each district is different, so I'm not going to promise you what those things will be. But what I want to make sure you do is that when you put on there that you are a registered teacher apprentice, you get the district secured, then they say, what university do you want to use? That's when you answer with Ottawa University. I want to go to Ottawa, or I want to go to Kansas City, Kansas Community College, or Metropolitan, or JUCO. And I'm going to start there because those community colleges participate in this program as well. You don't have to start at a four-year university. All of those classes are also covered with your tuition payment that comes from the Department of Commerce. Now, we all know our political structure right now is a little unsettling. I think that's the most positive term I can come up with. Personally, I have a hard time watching the news. And if you're like me, you're probably feeling a little stressed about what is going to happen next. Everything from loan forgiveness to FAFSA to Department of Education. Here's what I want you to rest easy with. It is harder to dismantle and take away items that already have been given and signed and instigated. So the sooner you can get your FAFSA in and get into a program, the better it is for you. I cannot guarantee the future. I do not know what's going to happen. But if you haven't even started at all and programs start to go away or items begin to be limited or pulled back, you're definitely not going to have anything to pull from. So my advice is, start now, hope for the best, communicate often, and know that as a private university, our hope is that any activity or decisions made at the federal level will hopefully impact us less. Again, I can't promise things, but we're seeing a lot of the state schools being hit harder because they rely on legislative money and federal monies more than private universities do. If you are a part of LEC, they automatically receive a 12% discount for sure because we have an MOU with them. However, we want to try to get you that 20% discount. So that's where coming from a community college, coming from a school district that we have a partnership with, there are, again, multiple pathways to get to where you want to go. Ottawa has options, and we are here to support you where you are to help you get to where you want to be. Mm-hmm. So I mean, that's all. Anything else I can expound on? Anything else you want to hear about?
Well, I do have some questions, but thank you for the reminder of that 12% discount. Can they be combined with the 20% and become 32%?
Cannot be stacked. Okay. I wish. It's
okay.
Whichever one is best for you is the one we'll take. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we know that representation in the classroom is important. How are they, the students being supported at Iowa University throughout their journey while they're there? Can you tell us more about the supports that they might receive, different offices, tutoring offices, any extra supports that they receive?
We do have a wonderful writing center that's available all the time. There's a QR code and a link to that once you get into our Blackboard shells. I think one of the most important supports is that I have a very tight-knit group of instructors who work very closely together so that have you ever done a class and you're like, well, this professor let us get away with this, and this professor was like all crazy strict about that. We are not that way. In fact, we're very, very consistent in how we provide the curriculum, how we score with rubrics, and the support that we provide, mostly because all of our instructors were trained by me. I was an English language learner instructor. That's what my whole dissertation is on. Individuals who speak more than one language are absolutely fascinating to me and deserve our respect on so many levels. Those of us who can only speak one language, we need to back up a minute. So when you are someone who speaks more than one language and perhaps your written abilities are not where you want them to be, our goal is to help you show growth. It is not to be punitive. It is not to be in any way, well, you didn't do it this way, so points are off and we're done. No, always in our classes, it is, hey, want you to be aware of the following things. Now learn from this, apply it the next time, or points will be taken off. The goal is for you to become someone who advocates for yourself and who learns how to continually learn. Anyone who's been in education knows your principal, your superintendent, your school, they're going to bring something new to you almost every year. We have new curriculum. We have a new platform. We have new technology. And you're like, oh my goodness, I've got to learn something else. We're always learning, but we want you to become even more confident in finding your voice and being able to approach that challenge and that new information with a confidence that maybe you didn't have before.
No, thank you for sharing. I'm also thinking of how flexible Ottawa is. You all have, different offers for many different people.
Yeah.
Even educators that are already in the classroom, they can come back and take virtual classes to keep advancing. So we'll be sure to share this recording
Good.
and also any resources that you share. Do you have any words of encouragement for those thinking about pursuing education, but they're hesitant at the moment? Anything that you would like to share?
I love that. You know, I always ask my student teachers as they're going in, and I even tell teachers who are in the building now, who do you want to be when you walk away from your career, whatever career that is? What relationships do you want to have in place? What impact do you want to have had? What kind of mental, spiritual, emotional, physical state do you want to be in when you finish? I think a lot of people hear horror stories about educators who, oh, I'm just burned out, I'm beat down, I'm overwhelmed. I'm not discounting their experience because that is real for them. But I wish I could have talked to them maybe earlier in their journey to say, wait, did you really articulate who you want to be at the end to ensure your decisions along the way of your journey aligned to getting you there? Because sometimes we have to take that leap to say, I want my life and my career to have counted for something that is beyond me. There is nothing better than being in the helping profession. The students who I hear from on Facebook, who find me on Instagram, who I was a music teacher, and I actually had a student send me a message on Facebook and say, I still sing the lullaby to my child that we sang at the end of all of our concerts. We had like a little tradition. And my eyes kind of welled up with tears because I thought, I didn't know picking that song even mattered to this kid. And yet it's being passed down to generations. Mm. Education is not easy, but anything worth having shouldn't be easy. Education is not for the faint of heart. You cannot be a wilty flower. You must be a strong force that is there for your students first. Mm-hmm. And that is what will carry you through. And I truly believe going to a university like Ottawa, where you meet people who are right across the street or down the hall because you all decided to do the program together, or you come to campus together and you meet your professor, those moments help build you up. And that's what we want. We want people who walk into the classroom saying, I know who I am at such a deep level that I can help you become the person you're supposed to be.
Yeah. We'll be sharing this recording with future educators, with families, and already educators. And I'm sure we want to get to, tell us about the people. What's the faculty like? Who's the faculty? Yeah, do you see people on campus walking around? People, programs, and possibilities. Can you tell us?
It kind of depends on which program you choose. So if you're one who's like, I want the traditional college experience, maybe I'm going to go to community college for 2 years and then I'm going to transfer to the Ottawa campus. You know what's great It's about 45 minutes south of Overland Park. So it's not that far away really from Kansas City and everywhere else. It's just far enough that your family can't find you, but you can get home to do laundry and get gas money. If you want that campus experience, our campus is so beautiful. I think we're 152 years old. We've been doing this for a hot second. Buildings are made of these huge limestone, beautiful rocks. You walk in, when you walk up the stairs, they creak like that old wooden sound, and the railings are huge. It's that feel of academia that you want. One of the things I love about our chapel down on our main campus is that along the walls lines so many international flags, because our international students are a huge part of our college campus down in Ottawa. For the Overland Park campus, we have classes there all the time for nursing, physician's assistants, EMBA, but those usually happen on the weekend and during the day, during the week. We don't have education classes there on campus because we are serving working adults or individuals who are already in the field. The reason that we choose our instructors the way we do is because of our audience. So our people taking the classes are already typically in school or working. So we choose instructors who are also working. So your instructor understands what it feels like to work a full-time job all week and then also come to class and do those things. So they're not someone who's just sitting around doing research, hasn't been in the classroom in 15 years and is completely out of touch with things. These folks are doing it in real time, and that's what makes them so effective.
It makes a difference. Yes.
It does. They understand so much better.
Mm.
But our instructors are from across the United States. They're not all here in Kansas. So some you won't be able to ever meet in person, but you will meet them over Zoom.
Mm-hmm. I appreciate you acknowledging the interesting political situation that we are living through, this is why we are doing this series. It's important for people to see that there's allies and there's people here for their success. Even though there's messiness going around, there's good people here wanting to serve Latinos, white Americans, any type of people that we want. We're here just for the call of education. We want to have good teachers here in different classrooms. So thank you for that. Last question: what is the most rewarding thing of education? The most rewarding thing about becoming a teacher?
For me, it's that aha moment in a kid. I don't care if they're 35 or if they're 13. Mm-hmm. It's that moment when a student goes, I didn't know I could write like that. Oh, I didn't know that's where that came from. Oh, I didn't know I could use that language to articulate my experience or be an advocate for someone else. So often I find individuals who just haven't found their voice yet and haven't found their confidence. And when you get into education, you quickly discover that you do have a voice, and your voice is that of an advocate for your students, your community, your principal, your peers, everyone else. And you find this family that you become a part of. So anyone who feels like, gosh, I'm isolated, or I don't really have a purpose beyond myself, that's what education provides you. And then the bonus is when you get to pass that along to students, where they find that purpose, they find their voice, and they find that confidence. And you walk away going, I might have just had an influence on that student's trajectory or their understanding of their value. What better thing is there?
Yeah, no, thank you for sharing. Before we wrap up, how can we get in contact with Ottawa if somebody's interested about joining the education program or just taking a tour of campus? Who do they contact?
Absolutely. So Rachel Scott is that academic enrollment advisor, and Amy Matthews is our community development executive. So I'll provide their email and phone numbers. Call them, email them, whatever is most comfortable for you. Also the QR code in the PowerPoint, feel free to scan that. It's one of those pieces where even if you contact Rachel and you say, hey, I actually want to be on the Ottawa campus, I want to be down there, she can still help you, and she'll direct you to the right person, and she'll still get you enrolled the right way. So it's just a matter of what do you want and how can we help you get there?
And you're right. Every time I needed to reach out, email you, yeah, you are there. Amy's been really helpful. You all have supported us for our Futuro Educator program. So thank you. Thank you for also being our first guest for this new
Wow.
series. Yes,
We paved the way, right? You did it.
you are paving the way.
On, and thank you for asking and giving of your time. You are so busy and doing such incredible work, and we believe in LEC so much and your community and everything else. So we just want an opportunity to have a conversation. Thanks for letting us chat.
Thank you, and we'll talk to you soon.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
bye.